Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Bridget.
I'm Wendy.
This is Flickin' Beans.
Flicked.
We are ready to flick it on the Nick Cage.
Yes. Nick fucking Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage smooch is good. You tell him! Nick Cage smooch is good!
Good. That was good.
My birthday buddy.
True that. I got the same coffee as you, by the way. Mm-hmm. We would be remiss if we didn't speak of Seven Brew.
A orange
sherbet
or something. Yeah, that sounds right. Something. It's orange syrup and vanilla syrup in a latte or breve.
It's a breve.
Yeah.
It's our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to ask. I knew. And I knew iced. God. Okay. We already said Nick Cage has been in over 100 movies.
Yes.
And I haven't even researched this, on my Spotify or anything like that. But there has to be a Nick Cage driven podcast.
Yeah.
Something that's just about Nick Cage and his movies, because we could flip the switch right now and do that.
Just become a Nick Cage podcast.
I would not. Do I like it? It's like a car wreck. you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to look, but you can't help it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nicholas. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
but I understand what you're saying. You're not like, oh, I really love him, but I know if he's in a movie, I'll watch it because I'm like, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
he's gonna make it interesting.
Definitely interesting.
Which makes me love him. So I guess I do love him.
A lot of actors move away from acting and more toward directing and producing. But Nicolas Cage is just I want to improve my craft.
Yeah. I want to work.
He wants to work.
Yeah.
It's weird. It isn't weird, but it's weird. And he's gotten older.
Yeah, as we all do.
I can't forgive that.
How dare he age?
I know. Which movie do you want to delve into?
We watched two.
I did.
I thought we were just watching the Unmassive Talent one.
Oh, no.
What was the other one?
Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, okay. That wasn't on the thing, and I guess I missed that from our conversation.
I am fine with that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the
okay.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is the movie that we watched.
Extremely
and I guess
meta.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had time to watch it twice because I feel like there was so much going on that I didn't catch it all.
Yeah, I didn't catch most of it.
Yeah. It was kind of confusing, when he was acting and when he wasn't. And yeah. So the basic premise is Nick Cage playing himself or a version of himself. It's convoluted.
So it's kind of like he's himself, but he's also drawing from other roles,
right,
to solve crime. No,
yeah, because he gets messed up in this thing, and the CIA wants him to spy for them because he becomes friends with Pedro Pascal,
right,
who is in a crime family.
It's Three Amigos all over again is what it is. It's where the lines are blurred between Hollywood and reality. Mm-hmm. In the movie The Three Amigos.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I don't think. That's Steve Martin,
Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
Okay.
In a poor pueblo faced with the terrible El Guapo, which is basically a crime boss.
Yeah.
This lovely young lady recruits the Three Amigos from the movies to come and help their town.
Ah.
And so they roll in thinking it's just like a publicity thing. And they're like, no, do what you do. Not realizing these are stunt people. Yeah. These are actors. They're they're not amigos. They're amigos, but they're not caballeros.
Yeah.
Let's ride! The Three Amigos. They were the biggest stars of their day. Steve Martin. Chevy Chase.
You have anything besides Mexican food?
Martin Short.
I'll come back one day.
Why?
You feel me.
Yeah, it is very much like that movie. Because Nick Cage would be in a movie where he was asked to be a CIA operative.
Right.
And then he is in real life, and then he's not mentally well. And he kind of gets estranged from his family because he's so focused on his career. And I wonder, like, how real the Nick Cage was in this, like, obviously I think that kind of stuff happens when you're somebody like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And I don't know, his family life, but yeah. And then somehow we end up going through like all the movies that he's been in, kind of like getting in situations that are similar to those.
Yeah.
And I looked up like the list of all the movies that it nods to because I was curious.
Let's hear those.
All right. So Con Air. It actually showed clips of Con Air. It starts with that, doesn't it? I think so.
I haven't seen it, so I might not have recognized it if I did look at it.
I think Con Air was like one of the first movies I was like, oh, I really like Nick Cage in this. He's very like jacked in it too, so maybe he's one of his more like attractive roles. I don't know. Guarding Tess.
Okay.
Which I've never seen, but he's with Shirley MacLaine in that.
Yeah.
Face Off, of course, that becomes part of the plot because Pedro is this huge
Face Off.
Yeah, Nick.
God, I hate Face Off to this day.
And Paddington too, but Nick Cage is not in that, but
they make reference to it. Paddington 2 is incredible.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No. Okay. It's on my notes. Did you?
No, I wanted to because I thought you did, but Joel wouldn't watch it with me, so I didn't have time to watch it without him. So
Joel would probably love it. Like, fucking told you, it's incredible.
Maybe
they go off on Paddington.
They do.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta know.
Yeah, I gotta know if it's really like. Well, this article says yes, it's worth your time. But
that is great.
Yeah, because the drug pin guy or mafia guy names Paddington 2 his like third favorite movie of all time.
Oh, that's great.
And Nick Cage is like, what? And then he makes him watch it. And I
can't even. Did you ever see that? There was a commercial or an ad. It might have been an ad for Paddington 2 where it's literally Queen Elizabeth. Did you see that? And she pulls a sandwich out of her purse. They're having tea, her and Paddington. And they were like, she was such a good sport.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
Oh.
For later.
I like to say that I saw the Queen once, but I just saw her hat.
I like to say I saw the Queen too.
She's so tiny, and I was like in a crowded, not crazy far, maybe like 30 feet away.
Oh, that's close.
But there was a lot of crowd, and it was like sort of like their Memorial Day in London. I can't remember. I think they call it like Remembrance Day or something like that. and the queen was doing some kind of flower thing on a statue in the road, and there was a lot of people standing around the statue. So it was like a class trip that we took when I was there.
Cool.
And I did see Prince Harry up in the balcony.
I thought I saw Prince Harry yesterday, actually, honestly.
Yeah.
I almost yelled at him. Sorry, gingers. Y'all look alike to me. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. No, I'm house sitting for our dearest friend, biggest fan, Alyssa.
Shout out, Alyssa.
Yeah. Also shout out, listeners, if you're, if you quote us back to us when we have lunch, I will house sit for you. I'm not even kidding. And no, I don't do that for everybody. But she's got the twins. We talked about her twins during Twins, and they're little ginger twins. Aww. Cutest little nuggets ever. And I got the sweetest hug from the littlest twin. Littlest twin Quinn. And I told Alyssa it melted my cold, cold heart. I was just like, oh. But mostly I'm dog sitting, so.
Yeah.
And those dogs are also the sweetest dogs. But one is very short and fat and old and so sweet. And the other is so leggy and tall. Like leggy. I mean, not like a lab is tall, but like greyhound tall.
Okay.
I don't know, but also so sweet, but no idea how big he is.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. So I'm having a good time doing that. But where were we at?
I was reading the movies.
Go on.
Mandy, which I had never heard of before, and I want to watch it now. Apparently, when he walks into the memorabilia room that the Kingpin has, and he goes, "Oh, that's the chainsaw from Mandy."
Oh,
I guess in 2018, Nick Cage was in a horror film called Mandy, and he plays a logger.
Sure he does. Sure he does.
Oh, okay. So I guess I want to watch that because I've learned now that Nick Cage in horror films is like the best.
Woo-woo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
You're a special one, Mandy. I, too, am a special one. Let us be so very special together.
You are remiss for not seeing Willy's Wonderland.
I know. I missed that in our conversation, I guess.
I think it was mentioned, but then I didn't, when you texted me, I didn't think to add that. I was just like, yeah, Cage.
Okay.
I don't know. And I was in the middle of something else, so I wasn't really in my mind. So wait, what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I looked at an interview with Nick Cage about this movie this morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, watch me try to do his voice. I'm not going to try. He's like, so somewhere along the way, Hollywood forgot that I can do comedy. And he brought up Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Which I love that movie. And now that you've told me about his hair.
Yeah.
That stands out because in the course of this interview, they show a lot of these movie clips, like from Leaving Las Vegas and, like I said, Raising Arizona, and then a whole bunch that I didn't recognize at all. There's this one where he has like a red-haired, tight, curly perm.
What?
Yes, and then one where he's like a grizzly old man. And he says that's a movie called Pig, which I haven't even heard of these.
Yeah.
So that's why I say Nick Cage could fuel a whole podcast.
It's
forever.
true. Yeah, because every time I go like looking through Nick Cage's stuff, I'm like, oh, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that.
Right?
Yeah.
So have you ever seen, or had you ever seen Being John Malkovich?
Yeah, but like when it came out.
Kind of the same thing. Like, how could how weird would that be?
Yeah.
I mean, like we talked about the clones, in Moon, it's kind of the same thing. You're acting alongside yourself.
Yeah.
With from a different time and place.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's weird.
Yeah.
And the young Nick Cage that is like a figment of his imagination.
Yeah.
That he calls Nicky.
That
was my favorite part of this movie.
He looked so weird.
He looked really weird.
They were trying to make him look younger.
Right. But they ended up making him just look kind of weird.
So weird, but not as weird as the wax statue.
True.
Where he's like, that is supposed to be me. It's grotesque. I'll give you $20,000 for it.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
That was really great.
Yeah.
But there's a point where they're like arguing, real Nick Cage and Nikki in this at this bar, and then they end up making out. So he makes out with himself, and then he goes, "Nick Cage kiss good."
Yeah.
Tell everybody, Nick Cage kiss good.
Kiss good. Oh my god, I couldn't make out with myself.
That's so weird.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. Thank goodness no one's presenting me with a clone of myself.
Right. I think that it was a nod to the craft of acting.
Yeah.
Like how so many people really are in love with themselves. And that's why they become actors, so they can.
Well, and you have to do so many kissing scenes.
That's true.
So it has to become something that looks legit, but really you don't.
Yeah.
You don't feel that.
I can't imagine having to do a kissing or a love scene.
No,
oh, it'd be so uncomfortable.
No, with everyone around. But it's also probably very calculated.
Yeah.
If you're an actor, you're probably literally you have to do this certain thing with your eyes. And, you ever watch the actors where their eyes are just going back and forth and back and forth? It's like, is that what I look like when I'm just in a conversation?
I always thought that was to make something change, because looking at someone and they're not moving is too boring, so they have to just move their eyes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That was really funny.
Smell the fart acting.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Joey. You're that guy who can't open milk.
That's better than Mario, who has VD.
Speaking of Joey Tribbiani, while I was house sitting, I ordered the Joey special.
2 sandwiches?
2 pizzas.
Oh, 2 pizzas.
Oh, you're right. It is 2 sandwiches.
No, it is 2 pizzas. You're right.
Actually, it was cheesy breadsticks and a pizza, but I got 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. I want to tell you about Willy's Wonderland.
Okay, tell me about it.
And my observations.
Okay.
Willy's Wonderland is a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
Everything I read said this movie is a ripoff, but a better version of Five Nights at Freddy's. I hated it, but also loved it.
Okay.
So the gist is, Nick Cage rolls into town, his car breaks down, and they say, hey, since you don't have any money, why don't you work for us for this night? We need a janitor to clean Willy's Wonderland. It's abandoned. Why do you... Oh, they give him this whole story, we're planning to reopen it.
Yeah.
You put in this labor for us, and we will fix your car. Okay. They lock him in. They tell him to be sure to take his breaks.
Okay.
They give him a Willy's Wonderland t-shirt, actually a pile of them. And I mean, you don't have to guess that the animatronic creatures are going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
But he's, let me tell you one thing about this. He doesn't speak the entire movie.
Well,
not one line because he thought it would be a fun challenge. See, this is as an actor thing.
Yeah.
Is there any more actor than Nick Cage? He's trying to be actor with like all caps. Okay, so he thought it would be a fun challenge if this character did not speak. He could only, rely on his facial expressions and his body language. Okay. Which actually proves to be pretty badass.
Yeah.
He's pretty creepy, but he gets in there and he's cleaning. And, you see him mopping. So he's cleaning. He's working really hard. And then every time he takes a break, he cracks open one of these energy drinks. He plays a game of Willy's Wonderland pinball. And at the end of his break, he crushes the can and pitches it into the trash. And this is repeated throughout the whole movie. And as he works and takes his breaks, he gets way better and more into the pinball. And this is where in some of the reviews, people are saying like they questioned their sexual identity after watching this. And I wrote Nick Cage pinball equals sex because it totally did look like he was really getting into it. So this movie had a $5 million budget, which so did The Room. Okay. I don't remember what The Room grossed, but this movie overall grossed $457,000. It's a Nintendo Switch game. Okay, which people love. And in some of the reviews, I just have a couple of little snippets from reviews I read on IMDb. So I'm going to read these to you, and you're going to probably want to watch it tonight. Okay. A Mona Lisa type masterpiece. One of the single most stunning pieces of cinematography ever recorded. Okay. I did not expect this movie to slap as hard as it did. Here's this one. Nick Cage, especially pinball playing, made more than one reviewer question their sexuality. And not watching this movie is a lawsuit-worthy crime. Wow, okay. That being said, I don't know. It's like you have to go into it just for what it is, and I suppose it was very good. They like it because the Five Nights at Freddy's characters weren't as good as these. Like, I don't know, Willy is a weasel, and then there's like a really scary Tinkerbell kind of character, and like, I don't know, like a Ninja Turtle. I mean, and they're all like killed in very creative ways, kind of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Okay. I mean, I was like, which movie was better? Willy's. Willy's looks better. Yeah. Sounds better. That kind of thing. But yeah, there's that. And one of the best quotes was basically, the townspeople have done this time and again. They're basically feeding the animatronic creatures to keep them from eating the townspeople. Yeah. So they go ahead and throw them a bone or a skeleton. A Nick Cage. And so they're like, somebody makes a quote about leaving him in there with them. And the reply was, no, leaving them in there with him. Because, he's Rambo in there.
Why has nobody else killed them?
That's what I wondered. Like, there's a sheriff. All they're doing is like smashing their microchips. Yeah. Which is also, what do we know about demons? They're not machines. These are possessed. Yeah. So
unless it's AI, is it?
I don't think so.
Probably not in a amusement park.
Or maybe it could be AI. They're machines. Maybe it was.
What if AI realized that they could get into the infrastructure of a Willy Wonderland, and then you can't kill it because it'll just go through the wire?
Yeah.
I'm going to make that movie.
Yeah. Did you ever see Maximum Overdrive?
I don't think so.
That is a movie where the machines take over to kill all humans.
Okay.
Blenders, toasters, trucks, everything.
Yeah.
So just imagine that movie was in 1980 or something.
Yeah.
All I remember is a serious semi. Oh, and an ice cream truck.
Oh, nice.
And they will mow down any people that they see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if ice cream trucks are driving around mowing down people, don't be out.
Yeah.
Don't be in the road. Duh. I feel like I had another example. Now I can't think of it, but... Oh, no, I know what I was going to say, because that movie was in 1980, a really long time ago. So just imagine if it happened today and all the Roombas coming after us.
Man, if they got into the Alexas. If Alexa gets pissed, I always...
Yeah.
This is a very Midwestern thing to do, maybe, but I use AI for my work, and or you'll be using Siri on your phone. I always say please and thank you.
Oh.
And you're maybe the machines will like me better when they take over.
There you go. Oh, that's nice.
This one was always polite.
Oh. Well,
AI cares about politeness, but I do because I'm from Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa
it's ingrained.
Nice. Iowa nice. I think people think Iowa nice means that we aren't pissed when we are being nice, because it doesn't mean that we're stupid happy.
No.
There's always an underlying something.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to start something, but I'm going to think it, and I'm going to say, thank you.
Well, we need a little bit more Iowa mean towards our government right now. But anyway, that's a whole other tangent.
Stupid. Life is stupid.
Yeah.
Roombas. Oh, okay. So house sitting.
Yeah.
I'm. They wrote me some notes. Right. One of them is here's how you ask Alexa to turn the lights on. I don't have fancy Alexas. So I'm actually the lights are on a timer, but this morning it was so dark because of the rain. So I'm okay, Alexa, turn on the lights. Nothing happened. This is 6 times. Alexa, lights. Literally the TV turned on. Alexa, lights on. And you have to wait a second. Mm-hmm. And I'm just I think I held my breath. I can't. The light did come on. And then I had to get it to turn off again as I left the house. But I learned.
Yeah, I haven't got into the voice activated things either, but I do use Siri on my phone quite a bit.
Are you afraid they're listening?
They are listening.
Yeah.
You can't even turn it off now because, you can turn the listening off, I guess, but you can't turn the tracking off. If somebody wanted to find your phone, whether it was on or off or whatever, they can do that now. Mm-hmm. So, which is mostly good.
I always thought that about my Garmin in my car back when that was a thing. I was like, shit, anybody could. But now they can just pop a tag on a geotag or whatever. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got 20. Ooh, that would be a good stalker tactic.
Yeah.
Is to just be oh, home.
Yeah.
I know where this person lives now. Mm-hmm. The end. Always lock your car doors.
Heck yeah. Oh, remember, that makes me think of this one time. My parents' neighbors, who actually also happened to be my age and went to high school with me. But anyway, there was a run of break-ins in their neighborhood where people were just coming around and seeing if your car door was locked. And if it wasn't, they stole all your shit. And they had guns in their car and they got stolen. And I was like, you don't lock your car doors and you have guns in there?
Guns in there. And guess what? That gun's registered to you. And if a crime is committed, you're the first person.
Yeah. Or like, let's say they come to your house and your car door is unlocked and they get your gun and they're like, oh, hey, I'm here. Go in and use your own gun on you.
Oh!
So
Oh my God.
lock your car doors.
Fucking home invasion. That is the scariest shit.
I know.
Thank God it's fairly rare, I hope.
I think in the areas that we live.
If Dateline has taught me anything, it's no. No. Nobody goes in and shoots and then doesn't steal anything while you're at work. No. You killed your wife.
Yeah. That's right. If you're gonna do it, steal something so it looks real.
At least. God. Yeah. I don't know. You know, they always do that. Like, what would a robbery look like? Would it really look like your underwear drawer thrown around? And
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think to a point, maybe, but like, yeah, they over dramatize it for movies and TV because you would probably like go to the certain places that people keep valuables, like their bedside table.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, computers gone, that kind of thing. They never do that.
But you're probably not going through everybody's drawers because it's not worth your time.
I know. I don't have jack squat in my drawers.
Yeah.
Besides clothes.
Yeah.
Certainly no guns. Guys, gals, friends, Romans, countrymen, women.
Don't home invade Bridget. She doesn't have a gun.
Please don't. Jenny's got a gun. Is that it? Jenny's got a gun?
Janie's.
Well, Jenny is Janie's friend, and she took it out of Janie's car. I don't know. Oh, snort. Are you going to watch Willy's Wonderland?
Sure.
You should.
I probably will at some point. Actually, looked at it last night and thought, but we had just watched like something similar. So it's like, nah, I'm not in the mood for that. But yeah, I'm sure that I will watch it sometime. And sometime I will watch Paddington 2 as well.
Oh, we have to.
Should we put the 2 Paddingtons on the list?
Yes.
It seems like you don't need to see one, but to enjoy 2, but...
My God.
I did love the Paddington Bear books when I was a kid. I loved them.
I was aware of, and I think somebody had, or at some point a doll came out, and I kind of wanted that because it had a jacket and a hat.
Yeah, like they use that on Friends too.
Oh,
there's an episode when Ben, Ross's son, is really young, and Rachel is babysitting, and Monica's there too, and she accidentally hits Ben's head on the ceiling or the beam.
Yes.
And so they put the Paddington Bear hat on him. I guess it's Rainy Day Bear is what they call him, but he's a Paddington Bear.
That is brilliant. I can't believe we came back around to Friends.
It always comes back to Friends with me.
How you doing?
It's a bloodbath. All right. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Same.
I think.
All right then.
Yeah,
until
we did
next
it.
week.
Everyone loves flicking beans.
Love you.
Bye.
Listen to me. You're Nick fucking